What about work-life balance? Work all day and no fun? I need time to play. So I don't know if there's such a term in Vietnamese. There's something called work-life balance. I assume there must be something equivalent in Vietnamese. But what it means is that, people should balance their work and life. And generally, when people talk about work-life balance, what they really mean is people should work from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and rest of the time is for their life. And and then you see me on YouTube telling people to work 16 hours, 18 hours a day to be successful. What about work-life balance? What about, having fun? What about playtime? What about family time? What about friends time? What about movie time? What about, well, you know how I feel about those things, right? But what about you? You gotta have a life too, right? And I'll admit that I work super hard. That's the only way I knew. I worked really, really, really hard, right? Since ever I was 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, and approaching 50, I work super, super hard. I put in still 16 hours a day, and then I go home and I fuck all night. Okay? I just have endless amount of energy. So, age does not stop me. But that's another topic. I'll talk about that at another time. But by working 16, 18 hours a day, it does not mean I don't have fun. I probably have more fun than you do, right? I have the finest, I go to the finest restaurants, driving nice cars and motorbikes, fast cars and fast motorbikes. In Canada, I have an apartment, and it's like facing the ocean. I have a yacht. So, my life, I have no complaints. I could die this moment. I could having a fucking stroke. And I have fucking no regrets because I fucking lived a good life. So how do you do work-life balance? Well, first of all, I want to say there is no such thing as work-life balance. If you want to be truly successful, if you want to be the master of your domain, if you want to be the captain of your industry, there is no work-life balance. However, there is something called work-life integration, right? So you cannot just work 9 to 5 because you cannot build your empire by only working 8 hours a day. That is just not feasible, right? But what I'm saying is mix work and life together. Mix work and life together. Just because you're working 16 hours a day or 18 hours a day, it doesn't mean that you cannot go to Augucho and have a nice Wagyu steak, It doesn't mean that you cannot do that. In fact, when you're successful, you would want to do that often. When you're working 16, 18 hours a day, it doesn't mean that you cannot drive a Mercedes. And it doesn't mean you cannot have a Rolex. It doesn't mean that you cannot have 1 girlfriend, 2 girlfriends, 3 girlfriends, 5 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends. All at the same time. In fact, when you're successful, all of that is accessible to you. So you tell me, you want work-life balance or you want work-life integration? Work-life integration means you're working a lot, but your life doesn't stop. You're still hanging out with your family. You still have, not really, friends are shit. I want to say you still have friends, but I hope for your sake, you have very little friends because most people are shit. So few people deserve to be your friend. And I will tell you how to select your friends in another video. Well, I have so many videos I have to make. But people are shit. So, you only want to spend your fucking valuable time, with the people that deserve it. You don't want to waste it on shit, right? So you can still have family, you can still have friends, you can still go out to high-end coffee shop, not your fucking like 220K, shitty, coffee made from piss, When you are successful, your quality of life goes up and you will have more fun. Working 18 hours is not a big deal. In fact, when you're successful, work is fun. Work is life. Work is amazing. Life is work. Work is life. I wish you can experience what I'm saying. Dining at great places, hang out with people that deserve your time, have a great family, and that's all possible. And it's more possible when you take care of money first, when you take care of your career, to take care of your profession, take care of your business first. Then everything else will follow. And I want to add one more point here, right? So working 16, 18 hours is sometimes not spouse friendly. Maybe your wife or husband, they're like vampires. They're like vampires. So they want to suck your fucking blood, right? So they only care about their fucking feelings. They only care about why you're not spending time with them. Why? Fuck that shit, right? So if you want to build a fucking empire, it is best that your wife or husband support you in that endeavor, right? So they know you're gonna build a fucking empire and they're gonna do work-life integration with you. They are going to understand that you're gonna work 16, 18 hours. They will plan their life around that to make you successful. And that is a good wife or a good husband. And if they just get in the way, why you don't spend time with me? Like, fucking dump the fucking bitch. Or the fucking cock. Whatever, right? So select your friends well. I would even say select your family well. If they're not with you, they're against you. Figure out how to do work-life integration. And may you become successful and have a very high quality of life. Take fucking action and don't be a fucktard.